But hang on a minute, James didn't just say persevere. James said consider it pure joy when you go through trials. There's a difference, I can persevere like this. Oh, it's hard, it's difficult, I'm struggling, but I'm persevering. But that's not what James is talking about. He's saying, consider it pure joy. I mean, this seems out of this world. This seems impossible. But our God is the God who turns the impossible into the possible. To persevere means to stay under. Now, there are some things that God is not calling us to stay under. But there are many things and many times when we want to run and He is calling us to stay under whatever that pressure is that we are feeling. Faith will not come from looking at the circumstance. And so sometimes the deception that we experience in trials is that we look at our circumstances and we are tempted to think that God has abandoned us, or that He cannot or will not sustain us in the trial. I don't know if any of you are relating to what I'm saying. Sometimes there are those moments, aren't there? Even if we've had a long walk with God and we know that He's been faithful in the past, sometimes there are those moments when we think, is He going to be faithful in this? When we're purely looking at the circumstance, the reality is that we want to run away. We want to get out of there. We just want to run. And that would be equal to living a life by sight and not by faith. Faith comes by hearing the word of God. So when we're in the trial, the first place we need to go is to the word of God. Because we're going to find things in there that are going to build up our faith and save us from going into doubt and going into sin and lacking wisdom. When we go to the Word of God, it doesn't change the circumstance immediately. It changes our perspective on the circumstance. And that enables you to persevere in the trial. So if you're somebody who prays that God would enable you to live a victorious Christian life, if you're somebody who prays like I do very often, God, please would you make me more like Jesus? Well, one of the biggest ways that happens is through the trials and through the difficulties and through the suffering. But it only happens when we persevere.